Hey, you. You know, I'm gonna go with the femme look. Why not? Let's continue. Can I do I click this? Sure. What's your name? I'm only asking because that kid over there asked me to. Your classmate points to where the kid is supposed to be. Huh? It was there just a second ago. Where did he go? Anyway, I said I'd ask. So, what's your name? It's Lion. Lion? Huh. That's a pretty name. Okay, thanks. I'm going to go tell him now. They turn away, leaving you alone in the corner of the classroom. Back then, everyone was just 7 years old. It's been a while since then. Yesterday, you all turned 18, and tomorrow marks the beginning of a term. Your final year in the academy before you can fully join society. Lion, please, don't leave me alone. Don't do this to me. You're the only one who... Your eyes flutter open as you try to adjust to the bright, blinding lights all around you. This isn't where you fell asleep last night. You have no idea where you are. Lion, you're awake. A face hovers above you, one you don't recognize. And yet, the way he brushes your cheek feels strangely familiar. I lean into his touch. He lets out a gasp, or maybe a sigh. It's hard to tell as your mind drifts towards sleep again. No, please, don't go back to sleep. He grabs your shoulders and shakes you. It's enough to snap you out of your grogginess. Sorry, I didn't mean to be so rough. Just, please, stay away from me. Please. Now that the grogginess has cleared, a quiet unease begins to settle in. Where am I? You look around the room. It is brightly lit, almost painfully so. Aside from the bed you are lying on and a small table nearby, the room appears completely empty. You are not even sure where or if there is an exit. Then your attention returns to him. The only thing you know about him is that he seems to know you, or at the very least your name. Other than that, you don't recall ever seeing him before. He seems to notice your scrutiny. The moment your eyes settle on him, he jolts and hurriedly scoots away from you. I didn't bring you here. I swear. Please. You must believe me. I only woke up a little before you did. Please, you have to believe me. I have no idea why we've been brought here. Is this some kind of punishment? Or maybe an experiment? He mutters under his breath. What do you think? Did you notice anything strange before the start of term? This is the first day of term. You shake your head. Nothing out of the ordinary. Could this really be how the final year is supposed to begin? You've never heard of anything like this before. I really hope it's nothing serious. This doesn't look good. Why us? Why bring a random boy and girl somewhere like this? His face begins to redden. You don't think they'll have us? No, I don't think it's that sort of game. A chime rings. Hello, selected students. You both turn towards the source of the voice. You two have been placed into a special program. Rather than joining your cohorts as usual, this will be your designated area for your final school year at the academy. You have 3 days until your first examination. At the conclusion of the examination, the student with a higher passing score will be granted early graduation from the academy. The remaining student will be executed. The graduate will be permitted to return to society and retain their right to live aboard the ship. However, if you both fail, you will be given 3 more days until your next examination. This process will repeat indefinitely until the end of your lives. In the rare event that both students achieve identical passing scores, priority will be granted to student ID 086873, Miss Lion. 500 years remain before humanity aboard this spacecraft reaches our new home. Sacrifices are necessary to ensure our arrival. Even if we are not the ones destined to see it, we each remain a necessary part of humanity's future. We appreciate your cooperation in furthering humanity's survival and prosperity. You hear a sharp clunk as two datapads slide out from a compartment in the wall. Beside you, his breathing quickens. What? I didn't sign up for this. Is this really what you're going to be putting us through? He pushes himself to his feet and storms towards the center of the room, closer to where the voice came from. How dare you? This is going too far! This has to be some kind of punishment. Do you want her to hate me? How dare you! Get us out of here! We don't want any of this! As the last words leave his mouth, he falters. He goes quiet and turns back to you. Sorry. I shouldn't have spoken for you without asking. I got a bit heated. It's just really frustrating. If this is supposed to be an experiment of theirs or of some kind, then I'm going to prove that they made a mistake picking us. If what they said is true, and they have no reason to doubt it, they're not unknown for these kinds of things, then they have given you a choice. Graduate in 3 days, killing the person beside you, or delay it. The logical option seems obvious. That is what both of you should be thinking. But you have no way of knowing what he considers the logical choice. And that uncertainty changes everything. All you know for certain is that you don't want to die. I don't know if this is the best thing to say right now. After that announcement, it might be hard to believe me. But I think we should fail together. It's the only way we both stay alive. To prove it to you that I mean that, I'm not going to prepare for the exam today. I won't let them turn us against each other like that. I won't. At the very least, it could have been worse. The fact that we can talk to each other gives us a better chance of staying alive together, I hope. He glances at you, more carefully now. Lion, I know what you must be thinking, and I know this might sound strange, but I think it's better if we don't dwell on it. The more we try to figure each other out, the more we'll start acting out of fear instead of what we actually want. I'm not saying I know what's best, I just think we shouldn't try to analyze each other. Not yet. Let me prove to you that you can trust me first. I'm going to look around. Maybe there's something we're missing. He lowers down to grab the data pads lying on the floor and hands it to you. If I find something, I'll come tell you. Before he turns, he quickly turns to you, looking flustered. How did I almost forget? I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Sor. We're in the same year group at school. He is wearing the uniform and he does look to be in your year group. Still, you're certain that you've never seen him before. Then he quickly turns, skirting towards the wall. He seems to want to brush off the fact he clearly knows you. Oh. Fuck. I have options. I have things to do. Sor seems serene. Our studied 0, Sor trust 1. Go to the right. That does not consume stamina, which is good. Look at the tank. You walk towards a small pillar protruding from the floor. There seems to be a small tank of some kind placed atop of it. Sor seems to observe it. Looking closely, there seems to be a couple of small creatures moving inside it. I think those things are Formicidae. I think ant is the common term. You vaguely recall learning about them in class, though you've never actually seen one in person. Normally, they live in a colony, but there only seems to be 2 here. I'm not sure what species they are exactly, but I think a colony can still grow if there's a queen. I think one of them is a queen ant here. The other doesn't really look like a worker, so I'm guessing it's a male. If I remember it right, the males don't live very long. You look at the ants, observing their behavior. This looks really fun to watch. I never looked into ants specifically, so getting to see one up close like this is amazing. You can't help but agree. You're honestly a little surprised they even brought ants on the ship. You can't really see a purpose to how they could serve humanity's survival and prosperity, but you're glad that they're here nonetheless. After a while, Soul leaves you alone to continue staring into the tiny tank. I don't think staring at the ants is gonna help me. Left. Maybe I'll look more to the left, or maybe I'll get on the bed. I look to the left. So anytime I turn my head, it's like another minute. How slow am I turning my head? Just like... Ha! Okay, I'm gonna use the... Do I use the desk? I could look at him. I could talk to Zor, but I think using the desk would be a good idea. You go towards the table. The table extends out from the wall. Cold material bolted firmly into place. 2 chairs sit across from each other, both secured to the floor. This is probably the best place to study for the exam. I can sit to get stamina and reduce stress. I can take out a data pad, which is a good idea. Sure. You take out your data pad. Oh! I look at this. I can skim notes, focus study, or cram sesh for 2 hours. That takes a lot, though. Laws of the universe. Oh, shit. So I actually do need to study if I want to actually do this right. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know what's the right choice here. Let's talk to Zor. He runs his hands along the wall, long fingers brushing over the surface as if trying to feel for something hidden. I don't think there's anything unusual. Just feels like the same wall panels from school. Maybe there's some kind of code. You never know what they could be planning. Who knows? Maybe this could actually be a test to see whether we'll cooperate to solve a riddle. You never know the possibility. He pauses, his hand lingering against the surface. Or maybe I'm just wasting my time. He lets out a quiet, dry chuckle. I didn't want to say this out loud because I don't know if it's the best thing to say. I don't want you to think I'm manipulating you. But if you can't trust me, you can go prepare for the exam. I won't hold it against you. He says that, but you can't help but notice the obvious hurt look he has. You already have the advantage in case of a tie. I swear it's like they're trying so hard to put us against each other. I really like for us to cooperate and both make it out alive, but I also don't want to force you to do anything. I really don't want to compete against you. Of everyone left of humanity, they chose to put you against me. I've never been more angry in my life. I don't want to die, but I want to trust you. I want you to trust me, Lion. I really do. I won't be studying for the exam today. I think I'm just going to inspect the room for at least a day, just to be sure. You can't help but feel a sense of unease and a sort of guilt of seeing this display. If you'd like to help me, I wouldn't mind either. I could spend 2 hours on the investigation, or I could ask him how he knows this. Let's ask. You gather your courage and decide to stop avoiding the question. He goes pale for a moment. Well, I think it's more that you don't know me. I tend to blend into the background. And, we had a class together, back in year 7. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't remember. We were only 7, and I never got the courage to speak to you. Please don't look at me like that. I just have a good memory. I swear, he says with a dry chuckle. Anyway. Okay. I could join the investigation, which would be a good idea. I'll join it. You decide to join him in investigating the room. He keeps his eyes fixed on the wall, scanning it slowly while you circle the room, checking the bed and the floor. There's nothing. The problem with finding secrets is that you don't know what you don't know. He speaks without looking at you, his voice quieter, more thoughtful. But being trapped in a room like this, it's insane, but it doesn't feel like something they wouldn't do. Tests on top of tests. What's the true purpose of this place? This is just another test. It is hardly unfamiliar to you. Ever since you entered the academy program as a child, one thing has been drilled into you over and over again. The only way to secure your right to continue living aboard the ship, to prove you were not a waste of its limited resources, was to graduate. But this experiment, what could be its purpose? He trails off, like the thought doesn't fully settle. But then, there's a time limit on the exam. They're watching us. And even if they aren't, it doesn't really matter. We're still in the palm of their hands. The idea of them always watching us never really bothered me before, but right now, it's getting on my nerves. Are you wondering why we're here? Do you think they just picked 2 students at random? I don't remember anything unusual before the start of the term. He hesitates. I don't exactly have the cleanest track record when it comes to following the rules. Maybe that's why I'm here. Even so, I've never received any disciplinary fines for it. I thought I'd gotten away with everything. I mean, I've never cheated on an exam or anything like that, but for them to go this far, it feels more like an experiment than a punishment. It has to be. Or maybe it's an opportunity. The thought surfaces in your mind unexpectedly, though you are not sure whether you truly believe it. Opportunity for what? Promise, I don't think you've done anything like that either. At least not that I know of. I mean, you don't seem like the sort to do that sort of thing alone. The room falls quiet again, and the two of you continue searching. I think I found something. You turn to him and walk over to where he's pointing. There's a small circular dent in the wall. The thing is some kind of button. He hesitates, glancing at you. Should I press it? Yep. Maybe we should be a bit cautious? Sorry. I guess I'm just being paranoid. He lets out a quiet breath. I'll press it. Please, and maybe you should stand back a little. You cross your arms. Sorry. Just being careful. You reluctantly take a step back. Okay. He reaches out and presses the button, his posture tense like he's bracing for something to happen. Then, as he releases it, the wall panel beside it slides open with a soft, mechanical sound, revealing a window hidden behind the tile. Whew. Okay. That's not so bad. He glances back at you, a small smile forming. Why do you look disappointed? He chuckles. You shrug. I think that's enough investigating for now. We should probably take a break. He lingers near the wall, not quite moving away. I think I'll just stay here for a bit. You should probably get some rest. Huh. I couldn't look out the window. Oh my god, I think the background is moving there. That's hella neat. Damn. Stare out into the great expanse. You stare out off the window. Distant stars stretch endlessly across the darkness. The ship glides silently through space, the only movement coming from faint clusters of drifting light. You're not sure how long you want to watch for. Nope. No point in doing that. I look at him. Zora's gaze remains fixed on the vast expanse beyond the glass. You step beside him to take in the view as well, and he quietly shifts to give you more room. Standing next to his tall frame, you can feel the warmth radiating from him. He is surprisingly warm. You cannot remember ever meeting someone quite like that before. You look out through the window, the familiar sight of open space stretches endlessly before you, stars blinking quietly in the distance. You lean closer to the glass, trying to peer off to the side. Sure enough, you can make out the massive body of the spaceship that has housed both you and the rest of humanity for as long as you can remember. Though, you've never been in this part of the ship before. From the looks of it, you're somewhere near the tail end of the vessel. How long do you think they spent preparing this room for us? He shudders. Was this always here? Was this always the plan? At least the stars are pretty. You nod. Shit! I wasted time! Well, I can't talk to him anymore. I could study. Yeah, study time's good. Okay, so I lose stamina. And I increase my stress by 25. I think cramming would be a good idea. I feel like logic's probably good. Let's do a cram sesh. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. You closed your data pad? Yeah, I know I closed it. I know that I closed it. That does not progress time, right? Thank God. Thank God. I am going to cram. A chime rings. What? Suddenly, a compartment slides open in the wall. The familiar smell of hot rations drifts through the room. You turn to look at Zor. I guess it's time for lunch. He crouches down, picks up the trays, and walks over and hands one to you. I think it's best if we eat now. I don't know if they still give out disciplinary points like at school or for hoarding. Better safe than sorry. I'll be at the desk over there. He seems to mumble something under his breath, but you can't quite make it out. Yeah. He quietly hurries over to the desk, shoulders hunched as he starts eating his ration. I should eat too. Eat with Zor. He straightens up immediately as you sit next to him. You bring down your own tray to the desk. Every tiny noise is amplified from everything being so quiet. The food today is good. Who the fuck is that behind you? You nod, so you can't really tell if it's any different from the usual rations. They've always been the same. You see him flinch slightly, like he's just realized that too. Sorry, I'm not the best at talking. You can see him smile. You realize you haven't unpacked your meal yet and quickly assemble the package. Not wasting any more time, you quickly chow down. I was always eating in the library at school. It would be a long walk and I was always a little worried I'd get disciplinary points for hoarding. Luckily, I didn't. But, I saw you eating a few times. Never at the library, though. You never eat there. I mean, I never saw you at the library eating. He cringes again. If only you could trust me. If you think about it, this isn't much worse than our typical school year. At the very least, here, we have the option to not have to prepare for the exam. Right? Do you believe it when they said they'd let us stay here indefinitely? Just the two of us, trapped together here for the rest of our lives. Does that scare you? Would you hate that? I don't think I would hate that, but I have many questions. I have so many questions. But I think just to raise his trust, I'm gonna shake my head. I have a feeling I might regret this. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked that. You finish your meals in silence. Before you can return your tray to the compartment, Zor speaks up. Thanks for having lunch with me. I really enjoyed it. Before he can respond, he quickly takes your tray from your hands and carries it to the compartment for you. Oh, Okay. I have raised his trust a little, and I've lifted up my stamina, at least just a wee bit. Okay, what's on his mind? I'm going to look around a bit more. You're free to join me if you want. I'll join him. You're not. He seems to lighten up immediately. Have you found anything new? I was wondering this, but where do you think they'll let us use the bathroom? Not that I need to right now, but we're probably going to be stuck here for at least 3 days. Wait, I just realized there's only one bed! He then seems to look around and lowers himself down to whisper to you. He seems to be chuckling a bit. Maybe if they escort us somewhere, we could make a break for it. What do you think? Before he can finish, a voice suddenly echoes from the same unseen source. You may access the bathroom facilities by making a verbal request. Each student will be granted 3 passes per day. Only 1 student may use the bathroom at a time. You'll be allotted 20 minutes before being required to leave. All possessions, including datapads, must be surrendered before entry. Would you like to make a request? He leans closer and lowers his voice to a whisper. I'll go first and figure out if it's safe, okay? You reluctantly nod. Zor swallows nervously before speaking up. I'd like to make a request. Understood. Student ID 977546, Zor, has made a request. Please wait shortly. A section of the wall slides open, revealing a bathroom hidden behind it. Just before entering, the voice reminds him to leave behind all personal possessions, including his datapad, before he is permitted inside. 20 minutes pass before the door finally opens. Thankfully, Zor appears almost unharmed. Lion, you give him a small wave. Good news and bad news. Good news is that it's just a normal bathroom. Yay! You stare at each other for a moment before he suddenly realizes he has not actually explained the bad news yet. Oh, and bad news is, well, it's not technically bad per se, more so neutral. I think I just said that for dramatic effect. So the bad news is that there doesn't seem to be anything unusual about it. I looked around the whole place and, yeah, I couldn't really find anything worth noting. If you want to take a look yourself, go ahead. Maybe you'll notice something I missed. You figure you might as well use the bathroom while you have the chance. Stepping into the middle of the room, you make your request. Before long, you have left your belongings and entered the bathroom yourself. Zor seems to have been right. There was nothing particularly unusual about the bathroom, and yet there's still time left before you are allowed to leave. This is the first moment you have truly had to yourself since all of this began. Still, you cannot stop yourself from wondering what Zor might be doing right now. Is it your own paranoia, or is it concern? You are not entirely sure yourself. Eventually, the allotted time runs out and the door slides open. You quickly step back out, not particularly eager to find out what happens if someone overstays their limit. Zor is standing just outside the door. He looks oddly flustered. Thank the stars. Everything went all right. No, never mind. You don't have to answer that. Sorry. I didn't realize how weird this sounded. You find yourself wondering the same thing about him and gesture in his direction. Me? Oh, yeah, everything's fine on my end. Why wouldn't it be? You reach down to pick up your datapad, only to notice that it seems slightly more crooked than before. Or maybe it's just your imagination. I don't know how much I trust him. I'm gonna go study. I've got nothing else to do. I've got nothing. Where's my datapad? Okay, I used the desk. All right, take up my datapad. I'm going to study. Let's do a cram sesh for logic, and hope to God that our next test is going to be logic. So yeah. Okay. Not bad so far. I could relax, but I think studying will be a good idea. I'm gonna save just in case. You close your data pad. A chime rings. Recreational and enrichment items are now available for use. Why is it? What the fuck? Zor! Zor, are you okay? You both turn to look at each other. Zor blinks. That's surprising. Do you think they expect us to be here for a while? You can't help but notice the slight upward curve of his lips. I'll go check it out. He walks over to the open compartment and gathers everything into his long, awkward arms. Nothing out of the ordinary, just the usual enrichment items from school. There's already a stress ball here, though. I think you normally have to get one from the vending machine with your snack tokens. I never really bothered with those. He glances at you, then holds it out. You can have it if you want. I'm more than glad to give it to you. I think it's one of the so-called rare ones too. I remember people trading for these. He scoffs slightly. Of course I'm accepting it. You nod and take it from his hands. It's so cute! You squish it for a moment, Zor quietly staring. Well, I won't judge you if you like them. He puts down the item, inspecting them. There's some literature books in the compartment too. I've never really read these before, so I'm pretty sure they're not exam material. Looks like the usual deck of cards, a few dice, some plastic currency. Just the standard rec room stuff. Would you like to play a game with me? I never really played with the others, but I know the rules to a lot of two-player games. He looks at you expectantly. Yeah, sure, why not? You tell him that you'll join, but please, I am begging you, stop staring into the corner of the room. For a moment, he just blinks at you. Then his expression lights up. Really? Okay. He fumbles with the cards, nearly dropping them before quickly shuffling them together. We could start with something simple. I don't want to mess up the rules. Thank you for joining me. You sit opposite him as he nervously explains the rules of a few two-player games. Check in with you each time to see which one you'd prefer. Eventually, you pick one, and the two of you start playing. Time passes. More than you expect. You end up playing for hours. The games he chooses are surprisingly good. Most of them are exactly the kinds of things you'd enjoy, like he already knew your preferences. He's a good opponent too, just good enough that you have to focus, just close enough that most of your wins feel narrow. You win more often than not, but something about it feels intentional, like he's letting you. I don't know if I can trust Zor. I'm gonna be so for real here. I mean, his trust is at 10, but I don't know. Zor, meanwhile, seems completely absorbed in it. There's a quiet excitement in the way he plays, like this matters more to him than it should, and he seems to have a knack for a lot of these types of games. It leaves you with mixed feelings of unease, even as you are relatively enjoying yourself. Every second you spent with him so far is a second you could have used to prepare for the exam. That was really fun. Thank you, Lion. Never thought I'd actually get to play these with someone. He hesitates, still holding one of the pieces in his hand before setting it down. But I think it's time for a break. I can tell you're running out of fuel. I didn't mean it like that. I think I need a break too. The adrenaline's starting to wear me out. You should, definitely get some rest. You're probably tired. I wouldn't recommend pushing yourself too much. He gathers the cards and dice you were using, handling them a little more carefully than necessary, and returns them to the compartment they came from. Well, it's late. The lights in the room suddenly dim. I guess it's getting late. His eyes drift awkwardly towards the one bed. Looks like they only gave us, one bed. The bed we woke up in together. In a hypothetical scenario, if the bed happened to be assigned to me and you asked to share it, I wouldn't be opposed to agreeing to your request. Why is he phrasing it like that? What is that expression? You are fairly certain you have never seen someone look quite like that before in your life? It's him. What I'm trying to say is, stars, I must sound like an idiot. He cuts himself off, face burning red. I'm probably going to head off to sleep soon. There's not really much to do. We can figure something else out too. I don't mind the floor if that's what you'd be most comfortable with. But, would it be alright if we share the bed? In your opinion? Yeah. Oh my god! I can shove Sore onto the floor. But I want to share the bed. Fuck you. He freezes for a second. Oh. His face flushes even deeper. Okay. I'll, stay on this side. He carefully sits on the very edge, leaving as much space as possible between you. I promise. I won't move around too much. I guess bedtime. Bed. 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 Use bed. Dim lighting pulls softly across the walls, dulling the stark brightness from earlier, but not enough to make the space feel any less empty. Sore is already lying on the bed when you approach, flat on his back, hands folded neatly over his chest, eyes closed. It doesn't take much to tell he isn't actually asleep. You stand there for a moment, watching him. His breathing is steady, but just slightly to control, like he's thinking about it. After a pause, you climb onto the bed. The firm mattress dips under your weight. His shoulders tense almost imperceptibly. For a second, it looks like he might sit up or say something, but he doesn't. You slide under the sheets beside him, the fabric shifting softly as you settle in. I look at his face! You sleep facing him. You close your eyes and try to sleep, but it feels wrong. You cannot remember the last time someone was this near to you, close enough they can feel the quiet rhythm of their breathing, the faint warmth that lingers between your bodies, even without touching. It settles into you, unfamiliar and impossible to ignore. The intimacy of it all feels almost suffocating. It's too intimate. Because shouldn't he be your competitor? Should you really be lowering your guard down to this extent? Lion, are you still awake? He turns to his side, facing your side of the bed. His eyes widen slightly when he realizes you are still awake. For a moment, neither of you look away. Lion, are you scared? Are you scared of me? Truthfully, I'm scared. Every second spent in this room feels like it's slowly driving me insane. If we stay here, if this goes on, if it becomes just us. His fingers curl slightly into the sheets between you, not touching, but close enough that the distance feels deliberate. Would that be so terrible? To spend it with me? Because when I think about it, an eternity like that, with you, it doesn't sound bad to me. Please, don't let them turn you against me. Please don't let them turn me against you. He lets out a quiet chuckle. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying really hard to make a good impression. And not just because my life depends on it. If anything, that's the last reason I want you to think of. Nobody ever cared for me. I'm nobody. in the whole wide cosmos, in the history of humanity, even in our school. That's why I always admired you. You were always alone. You were trying to distance yourself. That maybe being alone isn't so bad. Do you think anyone even noticed that we're gone? I used to watch you. The way you'd leave before anyone could talk to you. The way you never stayed anywhere longer than you had to. And how no one ever stopped you. You stayed quiet together for a moment. You could see his eyes slowly flutter close. Vale, with me. Let's stay here together. Please. A sharp line of lights cuts through the darkness, pulling you from your sleep. Your datapad emits a bright light. You slip out of bed, unsteady as you adjust to being suddenly awake. The datapad screen is brighter than before, displaying something you've never seen. Congratulations, you've been given the opportunity to graduate. If you accept, you will graduate immediately and be allowed to leave and rejoin society. The other student will be disqualified and executed. No! Fuck no! I have a terrible feeling about this, but no! Your finger lingers over the screen for a moment, your mind racing through every possible outcome, every consequence that could follow such a simple action. Then, before you can second-guess yourself, you press it. The screen flickers, the light sharpening for just a second, as if something is about to happen. And then, nothing. The glow vanishes. The screen goes dark. You try turning it back on, tapping it again, pressing the edges, but it doesn't respond. It's as if the message was never there to begin with. You turn to look at Zor, undisturbed, his breathing slow. He's still alive. A strange weight settles in your chest, something you can't quite name. After a moment, you climb back into bed, the sheet still warm. You lie there, staring into the darkness, listening to the quiet rhythm of his breathing. Eventually, your eyes begin to close again. And despite everything, sleep pulls you under once more. Why is my stress still high? I went to bed. The artificial light slowly seeps through your sleep, pulling you awake. Zor is already awake, and he's staring at you. Good morning. Morning. You return the greeting. The memory of the datapad surfaces. That message. Are you, alright? You nod, slowly sitting up. A chime sounds through the room. Good morning, students. You have today and tomorrow to prepare for your examinations. Your bathroom passes have been restored. You each have 3 passes available. The examination will take place tomorrow at 2 p.m. You will be given separate exams and will complete them in individual examination pods. Refusal to enter the examination will result in immediate disqualification and termination of the corresponding student. Reminder of the rules. The student with the higher passing score will graduate and be allowed to leave. The lower scoring student will be disqualified and terminated. In the event that neither student achieves a passing score, this process will repeat indefinitely. In the case of a tie with passing marks, priority will be given to student Lion. May you have a productive day. Zor looks visibly tense as the announcement ends. My stress! That last rule in particular seems to have struck something in him. Sorry, I was... Maybe I should just say what's on my mind. I think the rule is there to push you into competing against me. Giving either of us an advantage already makes things more tense. If one person is more likely to pass the exam, the other can't afford not to try. But the fact that they chose you specifically... At first I was annoyed. It felt like they were targeting you, trying to push you into going for a passing mark. But think about it. They wouldn't give me the advantage because it wouldn't work. It would just reinforce what I've been saying about failing together. It would give you less reason to try, and it wouldn't change my stance at all. By choosing you, they're forcing down into the one person who might hesitate. They're trying to break any chance of us agreeing. They didn't choose me, which means they're worried about what happens if we stay on the same side. So, even if it gives you more incentive to compete, I want to turn that against them instead. You can, do what you like. Well, it's not like you needed my permission. But I think I'll... He looks as though he's distracted. Sorry, I just need some time to think. You nod and begin to leave the bed. I should check on him. Yo. Him. I'm still sticking to the plan of failing with you. Are you still planning on preparing for the exam? I shake my... Do I lie? I shake my head. I see. Well, when you're not sure what to do, we could just pass the time together. He glances around the room, but there's no frustration in it, no boredom. If anything, he seems oddly at ease here. I've already looked through everything in here. I really doubt there's anything new left to find, but honestly, that doesn't bother me much. If this really is all there is in the room, his attention settles back on you, more focused than before. I don't really need anything else. As long as you're here, it doesn't feel... I don't know. I guess it doesn't feel pointless. Could that really last? If he thinks he's bad company, then what sort of standard does he have? Especially in a place like this. Hey! Eventually, you have to bore him. Maybe not now, but inevitably. It is bound to happen. It has to. And by that time, it'll just be a race to see who gets to leave this place alive. Are you alright? Lion, how are there two of you? Oh, stars. Did I say something wrong? After a long pause, you decide to tell him exactly what you're thinking. He looks a little relieved. You don't have to worry about that. I could never get enough of you. You could never bore me. He lets out a quiet chuckle, as though the very idea is absurd. Back before all of this, I used to watch you for hours. You'd do the same thing every day. Mostly just surviving. But I never got tired of it. And honestly, I don't see much... I wasn't much different from you. We were a lot more alike than you probably realize. And I wouldn't want it to be any different. Yeah, I guess I just naturally don't get bored very easily. I could stare at the stars for hours, and if I couldn't see the stars, I'd end up staring at a blank wall instead. People used to make fun of me for that. I guess there's probably something a little wrong with me because of it. But I guess that also means I could never get bored of you. Even after all the time I spent watching you, I still can't tell what you're thinking. If anything, maybe I should be the one worrying. If you end up getting sick of being trapped in a place like this with me and decide you want to leave, what am I supposed to do then? He looks down as his words trail off. But it hasn't come to that. Only think about it will make it more likely to happen. So, let's just try to get through today, first. After a moment, he glances towards you. Do you want to read some literature together? There was more than one book in the recreation bin yesterday. It's just a suggestion, so if you'd rather do something else, I could go along with that too. If you wanted my company, I mean. I could stay with him up until lunch. That's gonna fuck me over. And if it doesn't lower my stress, I'm so cooked. Sure. You tell him that you want his company, pulling him towards the enrichment items. Picking up a book, You silently read it with Saul by your side. After a moment, he glances towards the window. Hey, do you want to come look at the stars with me? His tone softens, something gentler settling in. We don't have to do anything. We can just stand there for a while. He hesitates, then adds more quietly. Spend the morning like that, together. His gaze flickers back to you, uncertain but hopeful. Would you like that? Sure. You nod. For a moment, he just looks at you, like he needs to be sure you really mean it. Then something in his expression softens. Okay. You follow him to the window. The two of you stand side by side, close enough that your shoulders almost touch. Outside, the stars stretch endlessly, cold and distant, scattered across the ever-expanding universe. Neither of you speak. Am I cooked? Damn, it's almost lunchtime. I'll turn to my left. God damn it! Before you can walk, you can feel your breath quicken, your thoughts swarm. Everything feels too much. You don't want to die. You want to get out. You shouldn't leave. You don't want to kill Sor, do you? Sor's tricking you. You will die. You will fail and he's going to pass. They'll throw you out into the cold, uncaring universe, just like everyone that has failed before you. Sor is tricking you. Sor is tricking you. Sor is tricking you! You need to get out of this room alive. Don't let him use you! I don't want to die. What the fuck happened to me? I'm so scared. Your legs give out beneath you. You curl into yourself on the floor, trembling as tears begin to sting at your eyes. Your breathing turns uneven, shallow. Lion. I don't know what to do. Oh, stars, I'm so sorry. Am I going to die? After a moment, you feel him carefully brush a hand through your hair. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Tell me what I should do. I promise I'll do it for you. If it means you'll feel better. I'd really do anything just to see you okay. You can't bring yourself to respond. So the two of you remain there in silence. Slowly, gradually, your breathing begins to steady again. Lion, how are you feeling? You tell him that you're better now. I'm so happy to hear that. You give him a small nod, thanking him. Of course. After taking a few more moments to collect yourself, you slowly sit back up, and eventually, the two of you return to what you were doing before. God damn it! A chime rings. The compartment opens, and the same smell as the meal you had the previous day whisk into the room. Before you can even get to the compartment, Zor dashes to get both trays. Okay, I know what kind of game I'm playing. That is hella suspicious. I don't trust him with my food anymore. He'll get it for you. But instead of handing it to you, he places it on the desk. Why? Can we have this lunch together? You see no reason not to. You slide to the seat opposite to his. The food looks good. I swear. Must be better than usual. It smells better than usual. I actually have something I want to, confess. I can't bear to keep it a secret any longer. I did something strange happen last night? Because I was the one who put that message on your datapad. I'm sorry. I really should have done it behind your back like that. I hope you're not too upset with me. I just had to know. If you got the choice, would you have left me? I thought about it all night. I kept imagining every outcome, every reason you might choose to leave. I I couldn't even think of a reason why you would even want to stay with someone like me. But you chose to stay. There's a faint tremor in his voice. You actually stayed with me. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lion. I think we can trust each other now, right? We don't have to keep doubting anymore. I really can't spend another second thinking you might turn on me. I didn't ruin it, did I? I know I shouldn't have tested you like that. I know it was selfish and intrusive and unfair. But I swear on my life, I'll never do anything like that ever again to you. Please, I'll do whatever it takes to prove it to you. If there was only a way that I could guarantee that we'll both fail the test right now, so we don't have to worry about that stupid test. There must be a way. Then, as though he has an epiphany, he gasps. I think I got it. I could put a lock on the tablets. That way we don't destroy them, but also limit access to them. I could even make them completely random, then we wouldn't be able to guess them. I know it must sound scary, but what about this? I could put a lock on just mine and even hand it over to you. You don't have to lock yours yet if you're scared. I'll lock mine and prove it to you. I would never betray you. I'll do whatever you want. Yeah, I guess we're fucked. You hold up the tablet out to him. For a moment, he doesn't move, like he's afraid this will disappear if he reacts too quickly. Then he takes it from your hands, carefully, almost reverently, his fingers brushing yours just long enough to linger. You're serious? His grip tightens around the datapad. Something in his expression shifts, relief bleeding into something deeper, something far more consuming. Thank you, Lion. We don't need to worry about any stupid exams anymore. Don't be scared. If anything, we should celebrate. He looks at the datapad again, then back at you, like he's confirming you're still there, that this is real. We beat them. We actually beat them. He's ecstatic. Now, neither of us has to die. Lion, could you go to the bathroom for a bit? I'll handle it here. Okay? When you return, Zor is already waiting for you. He strains the moment he sees you, like he's been anticipating this. His expression caught somewhere between nervous and anger, an uneasy smile fixed in place. I'm done. He hands you his tablet. I put a password on it. And true enough, when you try to turn it on, it loads to a password page. It was pretty tricky, but I managed to get it done. You point to his own datapad. Oh, yeah, I got mine password protected too. I used a random number generator for both of ours, so I don't know the password for either. The weight of the situation finally dawns on you. He might have said that you had beat them, but is that true? Or did you just remove your only way out? This is a truce. He can trust you now, so he has no reason to betray you. Right? Hey, Lion. Oh, stars. I knew you would be worried. Listen. He leans towards you, covering his mouth. It's not as though it's a guarantee that we're stuck here forever. What if they decide after a while to let us go? What if we find a way for both of us to escape? See, there's options. We just have to stay together for now. Would something like that really happen? It's true you can't deny the possibility, but you also can't bring yourself to fully believe it either. And for some reason, at the same time, you're a little glad that you don't have to worry anymore about whether you need to compete with him. Now you know for sure that you will have no blood on your hands. Lion, I know it must be scary. I really don't want you to be scared. Let's just try to get through this together, okay? I hope you feel more secure now. Would you like to play a game of cards with me? Yeah, why not? I've got nothing better to do. You tell him you'll join. Perfect. I'll go get the cards. He dashes to get the cards. Go ahead and sit on the desk, or we could sit on the bed if you prefer. Bed. You walk over to the bed and sit down on the firm mattress. A moment later, Zor returns, setting everything down beside you, a little haphazardly, like he didn't want to waste a second. Just like yesterday, you end up playing for hours. And just like yesterday, these card games seem to get you entertained despite any uncertainty you feel. He's winning more than usual today. You can't deny he's a great player. It seems he's lost that reservedness to win from yesterday. Am I cooked? I'm beat, he sighs. What about you? Should we have a break? You nod. These games were definitely fun, but you can't help but feel almost completely drained. If you had your datapad right now, would you still have the energy to prepare for the exam? He takes all the cards and dice and knickknacks from the bed and returns them to the compartment. I think I'm heading off to bed. I could take the floor if you'd like. Take the bed! You give him the okay to sleep on the bed. Thanks, Lion. He gets on the bed, slipping under the bed. I said you can sleep on the bed, not under. Hello? I am going to sleep. There's nothing else for me to do. Zor lies on the bed, flat on his back, hands folded neatly over his chest, eyes open and fixed on the ceiling tile above. You slide under the sheets beside him. I look at him. Lion, I'm sorry about today. I might have gone a bit overboard with everything. I'm so overwhelmed right now. It makes me even more and more convinced that this must be a punishment of some kind, and that maybe I deserve it. You can feel his body tense as he begins to sob. You don't deserve this. Being trapped in here with me. I console him. He continues to sob, shoulders trembling despite how still he tries to keep himself. You shift closer and tentatively wrap your arms around him, resting your head against his chest. His heartbeat is fast, uneven, pounding against your ear. Makes you realize how long it's been since you've been this close to someone. Close enough to hear something so human. His breathing stutters, growing more erratic as his composure falls apart. Lion. You tell him everything's going to be okay. For a moment, he freezes, like he doesn't quite know how to respond. Then his arms wrap around you, suddenly, tightly, pulling you closer like he's afraid you might slip away. His face presses into your hair, voice muffled. I don't want you to leave me. Please, don't leave me. You're the only thing that matters to me. You're the only person in the whole wide universe that matters. I don't want you to hate me. Can we stay like this? Forever? Please. You nod against him. His grip tightens for a moment, then slowly softens. His breathing begins to even out in uneven steps, the sobs fading into quiet, shaky inhales. Thank you. He shifts slightly, so you're more comfortably held against him, one hand resting protectively at your back, the other lightly gripping your sleeve as if to make sure you're still there. Neither of you move after that. The room stays silent. The only sound is the slow rhythm of his breathing and the faint, steady beat of thrumming against your body. Minutes pass, then longer. His grip loosens just enough as sleep begins to take him, though even then he doesn't let go completely, his hands still curled into your clothes. His breathing steadies, like he's trying to inhale the shared air between you. You remain wrapped together, warm share between you in the otherwise empty room. Eventually, without realizing it, your own eyes begin to close. And like that, held tightly in each other's arms, the two of you drift into a quiet, fragile sleep. A sharp line of light cuts through the darkness, pulling you from your sleep. A datapad emits a bright light. You turn to look at Zor, and he's sound asleep. Would he really do something like this twice? I check the datapad. You try your best to peel away from his embrace. As if he's still awake, his body automatically protests to you leaving. But eventually, you manage to maneuver your way out without waking him. You slip out of bed, unsteady as you adjust to being suddenly awake. You walk towards the datapad. It seems to be yours. And when you're standing just above it, it illuminates with the message. The password to Student Lion's tablet is 086873. Well, I'm going to need to write that down. 086873. Got it. I have a terrible feeling about this. Why do I have a terrible feeling about this? Do I do this? I feel like I should. I feel like I should do this. Oh my god. Do it? Yeah. You don't know what measures Zor might have added in case you entered something wrong, but you don't hesitate for long. It was right. Your datapad is now fully unlocked. What do? I prep. You take out your datapad. No, I'm just gonna cram it. Holy shit! Wow! Wait. I can't just cram. Oh, you're too exhausted to study. God damn it. But I maxed out on logic, so that's good. You close your datapad. It's back to being locked. You climb back into bed. Zor's still sleeping soundly. The artificial light slowly seeps through your sleep, pulling you awake. Zor is already awake, and he's staring at you, just like yesterday. Good morning. Good morning. You return the greeting. You must have been a bit restless. He trails off, but it's clear what he's getting at. You had moved out of his embrace. Does he suspect something? He fidgets slightly. But, yeah. The memory of last night surfaces. Your datapad. Are you alright? You nod, slowly sitting up. He's still relaxed. A chime sounds through the room. Good morning, students. This is a reminder that your examination will take place today at 2 p.m. Your bathroom passes have been restored. You each have 3 passes available. You will be given separate examinations and will complete them in individual examination pods. Refusal to enter the examination will result in immediate disqualification and termination of the corresponding student. Reminder of the rules: the student with a higher passing score will graduate and be allowed to leave. The lower scoring student will be disqualified and terminated. In the event that neither student achieves a passing score, this process will repeat indefinitely. In the case of a tie with passing marks, priority will be given to Student Lion. Please proceed with your final preparations. May you have a productive day. Am I cooked? I talk to him. I guess today's the day, huh? You nod. Zor seems calm at first, almost too calm, like he's already accepted whatever outcome is coming. Then he fidgets, shifting slightly as if he's trying to build up the courage to say something. He takes a breath. Would you like to go on a date with me? He immediately looks flustered, words rushing out. Of course, it's completely up to you. I won't make things weird if you don't want to, I promise. Sorry if that came out of nowhere. He lets out a small, nervous laugh. I was just thinking, recently, about how the others would say stuff like, live your day like it's your last. I actually never really understood that, but I think I got it recently. And if today really is my last day, I think this is what I'd want to do. You think for a moment, and it looks like he's holding his breath every second you take to decide. You almost want to tease him about it. Yes! But before he can say anything, he interjects. Actually, just meet me up at the window if you want to, date. Go on a date. He quickly dashes away. How do I reduce my stress? How do I do that? The bed you woke up from. The bed frame seems to be bolted to the floor. What? God, do I take a nap? Is this a thing I can I take a nap? Can I take a nap? Oh my God. 30 minutes. You start drifting to sleep. It doesn't do jack shit! I need to lower my stress! How the fuck? I maxed it out! Am I gonna have a panic attack from this? Oh, thank fuck I didn't. Okay, let's spend time with Zor, or can I reduce my stress? Yeah, let's see. Ah, God damn it. Reduce stress! You sit down at the table. Glance around at the plain room. There's nothing particularly interesting to look at, so you just sit there quietly. Every now and then, your eyes drift towards Zor, and you find yourself watching it for a moment before looking away again. Okay, it's still high as hell, but I guess it's manageable. You walk towards Zor. His hand's already jittering as you get closer. So he's inviting you to a date. Is that it? You're not entirely sure what that actually involves. You've only ever heard about it in passing. Something the others would do occasionally. Usually the higher scorers. It always sounded like a risk. Comfort had always been a risk, whether it came from another person or from yourself. The only thing that ever mattered was passing every exam. If something didn't directly help you achieve that, then it was something to be wary of. Something that could throw you off. The hell sort of dystopian future is this? Why do people date again? To gain comfort from each other? Is it like a contract? Is it something you should be doing when you're in a situation like this? Or maybe this is the only time it actually makes sense. Okay, here goes nothing. Ever since I first noticed you, I felt something I couldn't explain. It was like we were the same somehow. Like we didn't really belong with everyone else. There were the others, and there were the two of us. All my life, I only ever cared for myself and my own survival. That's all I wanted for so long, and I was miserable. But you made me realize I could want something else. I wanted to see you happy. When I imagined it, picturing you like that, it would always make me happy too. And I've never felt something like that for anyone before. It made me feel whole. You make me so happy, Lion. You're the only one who's ever mattered to me. And no matter how much I tried, I couldn't stop looking at you. I can't stop now either. I love you, Lion. You make me so happy to be alive. You've made someone happy to be alive? Is this how it usually goes? You've never seen a date in action before. Love. You've heard that word in class before, mostly in literature, in situations that never felt real enough to understand. You're not sure you fully understand it now. But something about hearing him say it to you feels strange, different. Your chest feels tight, your thoughts harder to sort through. Are you supposed to say it back? He hasn't said anything since. He's gone completely still beside you, like he's waiting, like everything depends on what you do next. I guess. This is the route we've decided on. Yep. I love you, too. You both stay silent. Then slowly, like he's moving through something unreal, he steps towards you and hugs you. I can't believe it. Am I dreaming? A soft, shaky laugh escapes him. I wasn't even sure if I was supposed to say love or just like. I've heard people use both, but... He trails off, tightening his hold just slightly. But I do love you. I like you too. I just... He exhales, like the words don't quite capture it. I'm just really happy like this. I think I read somewhere about these things called marriages. The two people wear white, and, you vaguely remember something like that. A distant concept, something mentioned in passing a long time ago. Not something you've ever actually seen happen here. Oh, that is sad. Zor seems almost thoughtful, like he's piecing it together as he speaks. I think it meant they chose each other, like, permanently. He looks at your hand for a moment, then back at you, a quiet determination settling in. It needs a ring to be complete. He reaches out slowly, like he's giving you time to pull away, and gently takes your hand. His fingers are careful as he turns it slightly, focusing on one finger in particular, like he already knows where it should go. It's something that proves that you're mine, and that I am yours, that I would always have you, and that I would always be yours. I think for marriages, you're supposed to do something called a proposal, but do you do that on a date? He glances at you, genuinely unsure. Okay, slow it down, Tiger. Or is it something separate? Should I do it now? No! You have no idea. He chuckles. I want to have the best date anyone has ever had here. He hugs you tighter. And I'm sure I did. Nothing could compare to what I'm feeling right now. He then pulls away. I think I'm missing a few things. He tentatively leans down to you, pressing his lips on your cheek. You can feel him shudder at the contact. I've seen others do that sometimes. Kissing? I think it's what it's called. He looks at you, then quickly lowers his gaze. I don't know if I did it right. I didn't really watch them for long when they were doing it. For some odd reason, you feel inclined to return the gesture. You lean up towards his cheek, slowly pressing your lips against it, like he did to yours. For a second, he goes completely still. Then his shoulders tense slightly, another shaky breath slipping from him as he stares at you in stunned silence. Can we do that again? Please. You give him a small nod. I think I'm supposed to, He leans down again, but this time, instead of your cheek, his lips meet your own. A quiet breath catches in his throat as he brings his hands up to the back of your neck, carefully tilting your head until your faces fit together more naturally. His lips feel so warm and soft. You've never felt anything like this before. The soft tickle of his breath, his fingers carding through your hair, it's all so overwhelming. You've never done anything like this before. You never understood why someone would do something like this, but you also know you don't want to stop just yet. He pulls back just a fraction, his lips still grazing yours. His breath coming in short, jagged hitches that warm your skin. His eyes are wide and shimmering, searching your face for any sign of disapproval. But all he finds is your own breathless longing. A small, hopeful smile tugs at the corners of his mouth, though he looks completely dazed. I think I did that right this time. Can we do that again? Zor smiles at you, completely unguarded, the kind of smile that feels almost out of place on him. I don't know if I did everything right, but that was the best date I've ever had. You're fairly certain it's also the only date he's ever had. Hey, don't laugh! He lets out a small, breathless laugh, still watch you like he couldn't quite believe any of this actually happened. If this was really my last day, then I'd be disappointed. But I wouldn't be regretful. You sit beside him on the bed, the quiet between you still lingering from before. A chime rings. Hello, students. You have approximately 2 hours until your examination. Please be sure to consume your allocated rations before the examination begins. The voice fades, leaving the room feeling a little colder than it did a moment ago. Zor swiftly grabs lunch for you. Let's continue our date over lunch, shall we? You give him a nod. You take a seat opposite him. The smell of the rations drifts through the room. Are you nervous? He asks after a moment. About the exam, I mean. You always look nervous before exams. I can't really blame you. So he stressed me out too. He hesitates, then adds more quietly. So, I think I was more worried about you not making the cut. I'm sure it won't be too bad today. You both start eating. The room falls quiet again, save for the faint sounds of utensils and breathing. Zor doesn't look away from you once. Speak to him. Zor stands there, fidgeting slightly at the hem of his blazer. Lion, is there something you need? He's quite attentive, isn't he? It's like he wants to prove it to you too. I tease him. The silence stretches, thick and heavy with unspoken tension. It's not like there's anything more interesting to do right now than to see exactly how far you can push him. What am I doing? You take a small, deliberate step towards him. Zor notices instantly. His breath hitches, and his posture stiffens, but he doesn't move an inch. He stays rooted on the spot, seemingly trapped by his own desire to please you. Another step. And another. Lion. Oh my God! I kiss. The date you had earlier. Everything the two of you got to do together. You find yourself wanting to experience a little of it again. You continue to close the gap, your eyes locked onto his. Zor looks almost cornered now, his back nearly touching the wall. He is caught in a silent struggle on whether he should step back to give you space or stay exactly where he is and risk whatever you have planned. Lion. Once you're standing right in front of him, you rise onto your toes and gently tug on the front of his blazer, the fabric bunching under your fingers as you pull him down towards you. He obeys instantly, leaning down with a shaky exhale, his heart hammering visibly against his ribs. You press your lips against his in a soft, lingering peck. It's gentle compared to the kisses earlier, but the intimacy of it still makes Zor gasp. His lips are still a bit dry from his nervous anticipation, but as you press firmly against them, they soften, molding perfectly to yours. He freezes for a second, his eyes fluttering shut as he lets out a small, muffled noise into the kiss, his entire body trembling under the simple touch. As you pull back just a few inches, you can see Zor's eyes slowly flutter open, looking dazed and completely overwhelmed. A rosy warmth rapidly spreads across his cheeks, creeping all the way to the tips of his ears. Huh? His voice comes out barely above a whisper. You kissed me. You can feel yourself smile as you're about to lean and kiss him again. Zor frowns a little, but surprisingly puts his hands gently on your lips. You like teasing me too much. It's not good for my heart to be pounding so hard. He lets out a shaky breath. Before you can react, he surprises you. He bends down on his own. A soft kiss brushes your cheek, then another, and another. He keeps planting them, not saying a word, simply peppering your face with gentle, lingering kisses. His hands have gently cupped your face, his palms warm against your cheeks. His hold is so careful, so impossibly tender, yet firm enough that you can't turn away. Every time you think you found an opening to retaliate, another kiss lands before you can move. Zor. He seems completely absorbed in what he's doing, his early embarrassment slowly melting into quiet determination. It's payback, he whispers against your skin. You can feel his smile grow. His grin grows a little wider as he tilts your head ever so slightly, peppering more kisses along your cheek. His lips brush your jaw before wandering towards the shell of your ear, each feather-light touch sending warmth rushing towards you. Your hands instinctively press against his chest, fingers curling into the fabric of his shirt as you struggle to decide where else to put them. Zor! Every time you open your mouth to say something, another kiss steals your train of thought. He chuckles, such a bright, unabashed smile. How proud he must be. Stars, I could do that for hours. You flinch a bit, causing him to chuckle. Your face heats up and you can't tell whether it's from embarrassment or anger. Cosmos. You tell him. He talks too much. You never said anything about that before. Only when convenient you speak up, huh? I don't mind. Keep complaining if you prefer. I like any sound you make. He's grown a little more confident than you're used to. Or was he always like this? Huh. I could keep teasing him. I mean, this is going to be like our little treat before we get to the end of the game. Is there something you need? I can keep teasing. The silence stretches, thick and heavy with unspoken tension. Let it be, let it do. Let's see. Hold his hands, hug him. Ask him how he learned to program. Compliment him. You know what? I'm going to ask the important question. He trusts us a lot. Well, let's ask him how he learned to program. You pick up your tablet and point it towards him. He leans closer, glancing over his shoulder before lowering his voice to a whisper. You want to know how I learned to program? He can't seriously think whispering is enough to hide what he's saying, right? I can already tell you think I look silly, he says with a dry chuckle. I don't know. I guess I just don't feel comfortable saying it completely out loud. Even though whispering probably doesn't hide much either. He lets out a quiet sigh. I mean, they haven't disqualified either of us for it yet. And if I had to guess, he hesitates. As much as the thought scares me, I'm pretty sure they already know. One core rule had been drilled into each student since the day they entered the academy. Never break a datapad. Damaging one beyond use, whether by smashing the screen, destroying its circuitry, or rendering it unusable in any way, was considered a serious offense that carried enough disciplinary points to get you disqualified. Executed. Yet, he planted that message on your datapad. And if you had to make a guess, you doubt that was the first time he's ever tinkered with a datapad. I've never destroyed a datapad, if you're wondering. I know what I'm doing is reckless, but I guess it was a risk I decided was worth taking. We all have our own ways of making sure we pass our exams here, at least before this program. Passing every exam was simply expected. I'm not really one to judge how someone chooses to survive the term. I mean, it all started with simple curiosity. Computer science isn't part of the examined curriculum, but there were still books about it on the library shelves. I guess I was fortunate enough to have the spare time to read them. If the regular curriculum had been a little easier for everyone, I wouldn't be surprised if more students ended up exploring subjects like that too. That still doesn't explain how I managed to hijack something as secure as your datapad. This time, he meets your gaze with an unusually serious expression. It's as though he wants to tell you, but without saying a word, he makes something else clear. Of everything the two of you had shared with each other, this was the one subject that was simply too dangerous to say out loud. He thinks they don't know. Does he really believe He knows something the Academy management doesn't. You've met your fair share of verbose people. Calling them confident will be an understatement. But this is by far the most confident you've ever seen anyone. Cocky even. He seems to notice your scrutiny and offers you a small smile. It's not that I don't want to tell you the whole story, but for now it's simply too dangerous. What could possibly be more dangerous than everything he's already told you? If only there was a way to message you secretly without outside forces knowing. Think. What if we spoke through a code using our mouths? Like, if I put my finger in your mouth and each tooth corresponded to a letter, he pauses, clearly giving the idea genuine thought. That would be pretty difficult for an outsider to decipher, right? You let out a quiet sigh. Honestly, it wasn't even that terrible of an idea. Might be a little hard to execute, but still. It just felt incredibly strange. Sorry. I'll think of a better way. I could think of a cipher of some kind. Please don't look at me like that. Alright. Yo! I need ya to hug me! You continue to close the gap, your eyes locked on his. Zor looks almost cornered now, his back nearly touching the wall. He is caught in a silent struggle on whether he should step back to give you space or stay exactly where he is and risk whatever you have planned. Lion. Standing just below him, you lean in, invading his personal space until the heat radiating from your bodies merge. You tilt your head, pressing your ear firmly against his chest. The sound is immediate and deafening. His heartbeat is a frantic, erratic drumming, hammering against his ribs. You can feel the shuddering rhythm of his breathing, shallow and jagged, as his entire frame trembles under the weight of the tension. Lion. Your hands slide behind his back, fingers gripping the fabric of his clothes before pulling him into a firm embrace. You squeeze him tight, molding your bodies against each other, feeling every muscle in his torso tense up as he lets out a shaky, broken exhale against your hair. For a long moment, Zor remains frozen, his body a rigid line of tension against the wall. But as the warmth of your embrace sinks in, the resistance finally snaps. He buries his face in the crook of your neck. Thank you, he breathes, the words barely audible, muffled against you. Thank you for this. He doesn't pull away. Instead, he lingers there, tilting his head to press his nose deeper into your neck. He takes a slow, deep inhale, his heart rate slowing down as time passes. Again, Zor stands there, fidgeting slightly at the hem of his blazer. Lion, is there something you need? Yes, we're gonna do the lewdest thing there is here, which is to hold hands! You continue to close the gap, your eyes locked on his. Zor looks almost cornered now, his back nearly touching the wall. He is caught in a silent struggle on whether he should step back to give you space or stay exactly where he is and risk whatever you have planned. Standing just below him, you lean in, invading his personal space until the heat radiating from your bodies merge. You are so close that your chest almost brush, mimicking the intimacy of an embrace without actually touching. Lion. The silence between you is heavy, broken only by the thundering rhythm of his heart. You can't help but let out a quiet chuckle at just how obvious his nerves have become. Your hands slowly rise, hovering only millimeters above his. You let your fingertips lightly graze the back of his hand. The feather light touches, enough to send a visible shiver through his entire body. His breath catches. A soft gasp lodges in the back of his throat as his fingers twitch beneath yours. Slowly, deliberately, you slide your fingers between his. You grip his hands firmly, intertwining your fingers. You lace your fingers together with his, giving his hand a gentle but reassuring squeeze. You smile. His grip is hesitant for only a moment before it timidly tightens around your hand, as though he can't quite believe you're willingly holding it. Just as you think you have him completely subdued, Zor's fingers tighten around yours further. With a slow, deliberate motion, he begins to lift your intertwined hands upward. He brings your knuckles to his lips, closing his eyes as he presses a deep, lingering kiss against your skin. His lips are warm and slightly parted, and as he breathes out, his hot breath fans across the back of your hand. "Happy now?" he murmurs against you. Alright. So we still had a few more options there. I think it would be a good idea to reduce our stress as much as possible. I don't know if like the stress level is going to affect anything aside from like skipping out time. But it seems like okay. Like skipping out time, like looks like we got an announcement. Hello, students. Please enter the examination pod in by 1:30 p.m. Failure to enter before the allotted time will result in immediate disqualification and termination of the subsequent students. We wish you luck on the upcoming exams. Well, I better save just in case Zor fucks me over. Yo. Let's just get it over with, shall we? How about we head in at the same time? You gotta enter first, because we can't go at the same time. Sure. Is everything alright? You're telling me you just want some privacy without having to use a bathroom pass? I guess. Sure. I guess I have some time right now. I could reduce my stress. Oh my god. Oh, we could have gotten at the same time. Wait, can I roll it back? I can. Okay. Zor, we go in at the same time. You decide to go in early since there's not really anything better to do. Line. We'll be fine. I'm sure we will. I'll see you soon. You both enter the examination pod. So I guess now... Fuck! My stress. You take your seat. The helmet lowers into position, waiting. This is it. Will you try your best to score the highest? Will Zora be the one to leave? Will it be you? Will you? Your hands tremble as you lift the helmet and secure it around your head. It locks with a soft, final click. Please remain still as we sync your helmet. A thin interface flickers into place inside the helmet. Lines sharpen. Text stabilizes. Calibration complete. Helmet secured. Your first examination will begin shortly. A digital clock illuminates in front of you. The seconds begin to fall away, one by one. There is nothing left to do now but wait. The helmet hums, a low vibration settling against your temples. It always puts you on edge at first, but you know the sensation will fade, drowned out by the exam soon enough. A soft chime echoes through your head. 3 topics will be tested, through 10 questions in total. The passing mark will be at the 60% point. The students with the highest passing mark will be able to leave, graduate, and rejoin society. You have 40 minutes to complete this examination. We wish you the best of luck. You look at the clock. There's not much time left. And before you know it, there's only seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah, I know. The countdown vanishes. For half a second, the screen is empty. And then, the first question loads. Logic? Look at clock. Previous question. Next question. I could attempt it. I could. I don't know if it's a good idea. You know what? Screw it. Wait, can I just skip time? Like, that was our plan, wasn't it? I'm just gonna make a save here. Look at the clock. I just pass through. God damn it! Okay, fine. Let's go. Oh, I don't give a shit. This is the last question. Goodbye. This is the last question. Oh, I attempt. Carefully recall what you studied. Skim and guess. Focus intensely. Try and calm yourself. Try and call. Wait for time to run out. You stare at the screen and let the clock drain away. The screen freezes. You can't change your answers anymore. Notice Your personalized result page is now available. You hold your breath and slowly open the tab. Your examination results are calculated. 0. This reminds me of my Chinese exam. You failed the examination. The results are ready, and for this round, there has been no passing mark. Your next exam will be in 3 days. The moment the voice ceases, Zor doesn't hesitate. He lunges forward, his arms wrapping around you in a crushing, desperate hug. You can feel him trembling, his chest heaving against yours, the sheer relief radiating off of him in waves. Thank you. Thank you. We both made it. We beat them. I knew I could trust you. That you trusted me too. This proves it. We can stay here. Whatever happens, you'll always have me. No matter what happens, I promise. We'll get through it together. You made it. This is the best outcome. The maximum amount of people possible are alive. No one will have to die. This is the best outcome. And you're trapped here forever. This is the best outcome. Suddenly, you remember reading a certain book a long time ago. The ending in particular struck something in you. You thought it was nonsensical, something completely fictional. Are you talking about the prisoner's dilemma? Happily ever after. But turns out, maybe it was real. This is your happily ever after. If what they say were true, that they really would repeat the exams for the rest of your lives in the case you keep failing together. If the academy keeps you fed, if they provide a bed and the smallest of distractions to keep your minds from rotting, then this is your paradise. Happily ever after, in this small world of just you and him. I couldn't have wished for more. You return the hug, squeezing him tight, your fingers digging into the fabric of his uniform, anchoring yourself to the only person you have in this prison of your own making. Okay. Sick. What now? Ending 1. Prisoner. Well, wait, we have an extra mini epilogue? Yeah, sure, why not? What the fuck? Wow, these are our classmates? They really need psychiatric help after this. Yeah, pretty sure that's not happening. Me cannot fathom how Saul got a girlfriend in the end. Please be sure to add the fantasy tag to the game because that was truly a miracle. Ouch! Wait, Soar? Aren't you supposed to be in the special program? Did they let you guys out? Yeah, just temporarily. We have to go back or they'll disqualify us, and yeah, I don't think I need to explain what that means. Oh, thank the stars. Me was at least hoping Zor would never have to rejoin class again. He made me lose a bet. Ugh. Isn't he supposed to be your cousin, if I remember correctly? Unfortunately. I'm right here. Zor, since we get to have this chat, I'd like to give you some suggestions on how you should conduct yourself in the room with Lion. Please always act with... Don't bother. This chat isn't canon. But it's not canon! What do you mean by canon? If I remember correctly, that's an old historical weapon. Close enough. Well, me might as well ask the question we all were wondering. Lion, if it weren't for the limited options, would you have... Yes! Wow, sorry, I think I'm getting sick. Anyway, that's enough of that. Fine then, disgraced cousin. Remain in ignorant bliss. Hopefully it will last long. I am not qualified to deal with these set of psychological issues. But what I'm qualified at is telling you that the game you just played was just the beginning. An alternative beginning of the main series? In the main series, you follow at the same school, except this time is at the actual academy and not that dingy room with Zol. You'll get to see all your classmates and teachers. Death game? In our school, if students fail a single exam, they are immediately sent out into the cold, uncaring space. If you want to see more thrilling scenarios, feel free to check out the Steam page, Last One Standing Academy. I need y'all to check this out now, cause I've not played a deaf game in a while. I do not know any of that. I do not know what any of that meant, nor why I suddenly start speaking in that direction, but I was apparently instructed to do so. Game alternative beginning. You're joking, right? You asked the president if she was okay. Yeah, of course! I just need a moment. What? Management actually told you to say that? Yeah, they did. And I'm choosing to acknowledge none of the implications of what I just said. Me will be there. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. No, that was the only thing you had to mention. This PR team does not know what their most valuable asset is, do they? TLDR, wishlist the game. It helps support the dev or whatever. Me requires funding for her continued existence. Wishlist greatly improved the chances of that happening, though perhaps that is too meta for this conversation. And you keep calling me the crazy one. Does me even have to say it? I am not crazy. I'm going to continue to not acknowledge any of what's being said. Time's up. Lion, Zor, you have to go back now. Thank the stars. I'm sighing because I don't have to be with you any longer. Not because I want to keep lying. You get what I mean. Let's go. Sick! Anyway, that was Prisoners. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do want to play this for yourselves, link to the game will be in the description below. And if you do want to check out some of the other endings, I will be linking a guide to the game in the description as well, right below the link to the game. And yeah, I genuinely did have fun with this. However, I feel like it would be nice to have more options to actually lower our stress and raise stamina aside from just staring at a wall. From what I hear, you are supposed to min-max this to get certain endings and all, but they had a lot of good ideas, and I'm really curious to see how they're going to actually expand on this when the full game drops, when they drop the sequel to this. Or is it a prequel? What even is it? But definitely looking forward to seeing more games from this universe. But hey, do let me know what you guys thought of the game in the comments below. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a lovely rest of the day. And as always, I'll be seeing you in the next video. This is Lion, signing off. Ciao.